Hey everyone, welcome back to Tobi's Book Corner and welcome to another reading vlog. And in today's vlog, I will be reading Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson. And then I'll also be reading A Psalm into the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. Two pretty different novels, as Open Water is very much a coming of age story. It's about love. It's about being a young Black British person in London. It's a love letter to that very specific experience. And then with A Psalm into the Wild Built, it's referred to as comfort sci-fi, a real tale about identity and one's purpose in society and consciousness and all that wonderful stuff. So I am excited to get my teeth into both of those novels and just let you know what I think throughout this vlog. Also, again, you know, some vibes, aesthetics, as well as me just yapping and rambling on about my thoughts on these books. But I'm excited for you to join me on this journey. So I finished work and it's evening and I'm finally about to start Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson, and I can't wait to get into it and give you my thoughts as we go along. I will be shocked if this isn't at least a solid 4 stars. I'm predicting it's going to be like a 4.5 stars because this book is about Black British people falling in love from London specifically, and I feel like there'll be a lot of experiences in here that I'll hopefully be able to relate to and that will resonate with me personally. And then also reviews that I've seen from other booktubers who I have quite similar reading taste to have absolutely loved it. So I will be shocked if I don't love it. That's why I, jumped the gun and already bought the physical book. I'm not gonna lie. This glossy cover, it's giving me school textbook vibes. I'm not really here for it, but I'm excited to actually read the physical book. It's actually really short. Like, whenever I look at the last page, I don't want any spoilers, so I have to. Okay, it's like 160 pages. So I've literally just read the first 2 pages, the prologue. Scrap 4.5 stars. I think this is going to be 5. The writing. Nelson's writing. Exquisite. Exquisite. And literally 2 pages in, and I'm already believing the connection between these two. I am excited. Just had to quickly pop in to check in after that prologue. Not even 2, 1.5 pages. Wow. So last night I got a quarter of the way through Open Water and I'm in love with Caleb Nelson's writing. It is stunning, gorgeous, amazing, beautiful, just wow. And there's so much already that I can just relate to the Black British experience in London, especially as both the characters go to predominantly white schools, and that's something and experiences that I've had, and I can really relate to some of the ways they have to cope and to stay sane in a sense. And often that's finding some sort of creative outlet where you can feel free to express yourself and your identity, and for at least one moment whilst you're in this place where you feel othered and alien, you are more than just your Black body, which is how a lot of other people, whether it's teachers or other students, their parents, see you in those institutions. And also just the London setting, like when they're in like central London, like Leicester Square, and they're talking about certain places or locations, and I can literally just envision them like in my head so clearly with so much clarity. Absolutely love that. It's just, I think any Londoner will be able to really appreciate those little tokens. And then I wasn't expecting there to be so much of a focus and Nelson weaving in his love, or the character's love for music and dance. I just love how they are such integral parts of the narrative. And then I did not actually know grief was something that was really explored in this novel. It is done masterfully, just showing the waves and how it can just hit you and come crashing down at you all at once. And but then equally how you also have this sometimes just really overwhelming gratitude for life and for being alive, whilst also feeling crushed by your loss and feeling helpless and not knowing how to express that, or you know, sometimes whether you internalize it. The way that's explored with the protagonist character is just done in an amazing way, in a very relatable way, but also just a beautiful, lyrical, sorrowful way. So I just got back from donating blood for the first time. I attempted yesterday, this arm. Tell me why my vein collapsed. They put the needle in and the vein said, no, we're not letting any blood through for you. So I went back today and it's all done. So I just got back from ballet, you can see my leotard. And I read some more of Open Water whilst I got the tube there, and I am still loving it. In fact, let me sit down, let's get comfy, let's talk. I really love the romance, friendship, connection, whatever you want to call it, in this novel, because it's that slow burning, angsty yearning, but you feel like it's the right person, wrong timing, circumstances are a bit all over the gaff, or a bit higgity-haggity, and that is the kind of romance or relationship that I love following in a book, that like, so close but so far, you know? So still absolutely loving it. The writing is still lyrical, poetic. I am convinced Caleb Azumah Nelson, he's a poet. He's a poet, he has to be. I'm convinced this writing is not, it's not just normal English, standard English language, not the standard bog at all. As well, the way it really delves into what it means to be a Black British man, especially in London. You know, we go in on the whole stop and search tactic, institutionalized racism in the police, and so frustrating to read, because I know, you know, real people who this happens to on a regular, unfortunately. And even though it's only been like 60 something pages, I do feel connected to the protagonist, to the guy. What actually is his name? I say I feel connected. Do I even know his name? Is it Michael? Does he mention his name? Well, whatever his name is, I do feel connected to the main character, and it's a book that, as I said, I don't want to just rush through it and binge it in a day, but I do look forward to like any moment I have spare to read it. So I'll continue to let you know how I enjoy this book. Hey, I'm back and I have finished Open Water, and actually my first prediction was correct, as I gave it 4.5 stars. Such a wonderful book, a wonderful read. It really felt like a love letter to myself as a Black British young woman, and to anyone like me who, to my experiences, it really just was this poetic illustration of what it means to be a Black young British person living in London. There was so much I could relate to, experiences that resonated with me, things that made me hopeful, made me feel seen, feel heard, feel understood, also made me feel angry and frustrated, and So an absolute wonderful read. I really love how Caleb Azumah Nelson spoke on love, spoke on the creative arts, really interweaved music and the emotive aspects of it and the joy and wonders it can bring throughout the whole narrative, movement, community, racism, fears, just coming of age story, just growing up and finding yourself. Also mental health, grief, joy, so many different things were spoken on in 160 pages and in such a beautiful, moving, unique way. It was a wonderful, wonderful read. And the next book that I'll be reading in this vlog is A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. And this is the first book in a series. I don't think any of the other books have come out yet. And the series is about a monk and a robot. And from what I understand, there's a monk who's the protagonist, they're non-binary. This is meant to be a very inclusive novel. It's really referred to as comfort sci-fi, which really intrigues me. There's a lot of exploration about identity and purpose and your place in society and what it means to be human or to have consciousness and self-awareness. And from what I understand of the synopsis, there's this world, I think it might be on the moon, I may be wrong, and robots were made to be used for slave labor, essentially. However, one day they all gain self-awareness and they're like, peace, I'm out of here. And they go off into the wilderness and then they almost fade into myth and legend. Then we're following this monk who decides they want to be a tea monk, which means they kind of go out into the wilderness and I think they go and bring tea to different people, listen to their problems, almost like confessional, and they'll listen to their problems and then serve the according tea depending on their issues. And then I think along the way they come across a robot and then the tale goes from there. I've always loved like sci-fi movies growing up, but I've never really got into sci-fi books. I did read The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler earlier this year and I had mixed feelings. I did really enjoy aspects. I did find it quite slow overall. So I'm very intrigued to see how I enjoy this and I'll let you know how I get on during this vlog. If that's the first sentence of this book, I can already tell I like Becky Chambers' writing. That was too relatable, too to the point, and I'm here for it. So I'm 75% of the way through. I keep, like, the name of this novel keeps escaping my mind. A Psalm on the Wild Built. The funny thing is I'm so enjoying it. I just don't know why the title won't stick. A Psalm for the Wild Built. And I am still in love. Like, I actually think this could be a 5 stars. I never aspired it. A sci-fi? Like, I know it's not a hard sci-fi like whatsoever, but still I'm just so pleasantly surprised. I'm really liking the discussions about identity, about assumptions and assuming things about others, and also just the need sometimes for very open and frank conversations to really learn about others and their preferences, whether it's pronouns or just how they identify with themselves. And I just really love it, like how certain things you think might offend another person or thing, how it doesn't, how actually you sometimes trying to be diplomatic or, you know, PC actually can backfire, and just being able to have that really open, transparent conversation with others, and just the way it will broaden your horizon, and just the way you'll like learn new things about the world and even potentially about yourself. We're mainly really just following these two characters, the monk and the robot, and I love them. I love them. Sometimes the monk, they can frustrate me small, a little bit. But no, majority of the time, I like, even the stuff they do that's frustrating, it's like, I would have done the same thing. So it's probably more my frustration at myself, to be frank. It's just, it is such a comforting read. Like, I really love being in this world that Becky Chambers has created. And honestly, when I first found out this was a series, I was like, good for yous, but I probably will read the first book and that's it. I'm not trying to commit to any more series, but this world, I already know I'm committed to this series, and the books aren't long either, so I'm like, it's all right. And the fact that I'll be up to date after finishing this one, I'm like, okay, it's not like I've got this whole backlist of books I need to get through, so it's not as intimidating. And I'm in awe. If you just want that comforting read, you're just, you know, going through the wild with these two wonderful, well, this wonderful person and then this wonderful robot, this machine, then this is the book for you. I just finished A Psalm for the Wild Build. 5 stars. What? I can't believe it. The way it finished, like, I did not expect to, like, I didn't cry, but the ears, the eyes, you know, again, a little bit teary, just a tad, just more out of just joy and like a happiness and yay. And I really love how Becky Chambers used the relationship between the monk and the robot to really speak about purpose, and why, when it comes to humanity and our world, that purpose is such this thing of such importance and can be such a burden on so many people's lives. And the way that she explores that in this novel was really she just did it in a really good way, but just really like affirming, like for myself. Even I feel like as a 20-something-year-old, like a lot of us have those same thoughts and wonders about like, why am I here? Like, what is my purpose? Like, am I doing enough in my life? And it was really great how she explored that. And then just the way it's ended, like, I'm just so excited for when the next book comes out to just pick, hopefully right up from where it stopped, and continue on this journey with Dex, the monk, and the robot. Wow, like, this will be such a good reread if I'm like in a reading slump. Just such a comforting world and characters to delve and jump right back into. That it was just such a precious, joyous tale that just spoke on humanity, and it was kind of a utopia in a sense, where it's like, wow, is this a place where humanity could get to one day and just care for the world and other species and other existences in the world way more than us humans currently do right now. But yeah, this was such a pleasant read. Like, I had a feeling I'd enjoy it, but I didn't think I would love it this much and finish it so quickly, like under 24 hours. I'm in love. And then to just overall wrap up my feelings about both the books I read in this vlog. So Open Water, that was 4.5 stars. As I said, it's like a love letter to the modern Black young British experience in London. It is in second person, so initially it took me a little while to get used to that whole like you is speaking. I was like, who do you mean you? Me? Like who are you talking to? But I did get used to it. However, though, when I would come back to it, sometimes it would take me like a second or two to like get like back into that writing style. But I feel like it works for the novel. I feel like honestly, if it was in first person, that would have worked perfectly fine for me too. But the second person format didn't take away from the narrative for me. And as I said, I just love the way it spoke on so many different themes in such a short space of time. Like Caleb Azumah Nelson knows how to pack a punch, and it was emotive, it was sorrowful at times, it made me angry, but it also made me joyous, it made me happy, it was relatable, it was just wonderful. And I would highly recommend this, especially of course to other young Black British people, but this is a book that anyone could enjoy. And then, as I've just said about oh gosh, this title, A Psalm for the Wild, built by Becky Chambers, 5 stars. And it's like one of my first real like sci-fi literature that I've truly loved. I'm excited to delve into more of her work. And this book, as I said, I love how it speaks on purpose, on identity, on understanding others and different existences, and just being at harmony with all other people, species, things, the world. And it's just such a comfort sci-fi book, as people have said it is, and they weren't lying. So if that sounds right up your alley, please pick this up. I can't believe I had such another fantastic reading vlog again. I really hope to do another one soon. I think I'm finally gonna try a little bit of Sally Rooney, Normal People. I think I'm gonna finally take the plunge. I have no idea if I'm gonna actually enjoy it, but that will be coming in the next reading vlog, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.